And so I'm with you today. And like anybody who ever taught, who ever wrote, it was a teacher who pushed me over the edge. One teacher. It always is. And it's almost never a college professor. We get to them too late in our lives, and often in theirs. It's a teacher. In fact, two teachers. I have to tell you both because they're still alive in my heart and in my work. I met the first of one of them in one dark day in puberty. All days are dark in puberty. But this one was dark as night. I was shambling down the hallway of Woodrow Wilson Junior High School in Decatur, Illinois, when a fearful apparition appeared before me. A teacher, and not even one of my own. Her name was Mrs. Ethel Snell. And she said, Peck. She knew my name. I was busted. I was 14. I thought I could see teachers, but they could not see me. I was banking on it. Peck, she said, have you signed up for my Latin class? Oh, ma'am. And she said, oh, I thought maybe you were planning to go to college. And I am here today. The rot had already set in. Mrs. Snell had to make lightning raids on the halls to fill her classes. She should never have had to budge from her classroom because it should not have been even elective. There is nothing elective about Latin. It is the only confidence builder in the construction and the logic and the rhythms of the English language. The best you can do for the rest of your life without Latin is wing it. I'm a writer because of Latin. It gave me the confidence to write English. And if your child just can't work that into his schedule, look more closely at his values and standards and beliefs. He doesn't know how much he's going to need that. She doesn't know it could change her life. It changed mine. And then there was that other teacher. And she was a senior year teacher. Her name was Miss Thelma Franklin, and she taught down at the high school. And there was no gifted program in the high school. Otherwise, I might never have met her. But being labeled gifted too early in life puts most people out of business, and that was still pretty well understood in our school. Also, there were very few electives in senior year. Senior year was a bad time for electives. The young don't elect anything they need. They elect the shortcut in the sure shot. There was nothing elective about Miss Franklin. If you wanted to go to college, you had to have her class. How well I remember senior year English all those Septembers ago when Miss Franklin strode into the room, looked us over, and spoke these memorable words. I can get every one of you in this room into the colleges of your choices, or I can keep you out. Now that's teaching. Today, Miss Franklin would be a lawsuit, but then... But I had more to learn from Miss Franklin than that. I had grown accustomed to receiving A's on my English compositions. And A's, as we now know from the sad experience of our children, are the end of education, not the beginning. Nobody ever learned anything from an A. But when I got my first paper back from Miss Franklin, there was no grade on it at all. Instead, there were words written in the margin, slowly engraved upon my heart. And those words were these: never express yourself again on my time. Find a more interesting topic. When I was 17, I didn't know what a more interesting topic than me would be. I actually went to the woman and said, what would a more interesting topic be? And she said, almost any. That led me to the library. Subject matter also saved my freshman year of college, because it was very rigorous in those days, and it was all based on freshman composition. You either cleared that fence or fell at it. Did write a book, and it came out that next year. And Miss Franklin lived just long enough so that I could go back to my hometown and put that first book in her hands and say, thank you for this. Sometimes teachers have to wait a very, very long time in their careers to realize what they want. And she did everything for me. But I had a long road to travel before I became a writer. I didn't go to Greenwich Village and write an autobiographical novel when I was 21, thank heaven. 21, I was marching as a soldier. But I became a teacher. An English teacher, of course, what else is there? Because if you cannot read appreciatively and write coherently and speak persuasively and listen skeptically, you will find a way to fail at whatever you want. And so I became an English teacher because of people like Miss Franklin. Oh, you know what we were told the years that I became a teacher? That America was getting larger, and so we would always need teachers everywhere. And that the teacher was the most respected professional. Upon these two lies, I based a career. I started teaching in college, and because of that, when I came to high school teaching, they gave me the seniors, the advanced placement, the gifted, the college bound. I was Miss Franklin. Except I wasn't, of course. But I was making a life out of that. Seniors want one thing from you: a well-written letter of recommendation to the colleges of their choices, a better letter perhaps than they can write. And then after they get in college in March, you never see them again. It's a very short year. I was making a life of that. It wasn't the life I wanted, but it was a life. And then one day, somebody pulled the world out from underneath me, and I got the shock of my life. And every moment the memo was changed. I was reassigned junior high. Nobody chooses to teach junior high. They're assigned, and I was. And by the way, changing the name of the junior high to the middle school has fooled nobody. It's still puberty. Puberty is the darkest time of life, for while it is the death of childhood, it is not the birth of reason. I looked around one awful Monday morning, and I was the only one in the room not going through puberty. It gets worse. It was a girls' school.
Oh my God.
So I was the only one in the room who did not want my mother dead. It was worse. It was just off Park Avenue in New York City.
Oh my goodness.
So I was the only one in the room without a full line of credit. Now we had bond. It was a school for the academically gifted. So I was the only one in the room who was not gifted. And where was the reading curriculum for these people, I wanted to know. They were too old for the literature of childhood, and nothing we had done in senior year was going to work. And you couldn't hold college over their heads. They were